Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast the haunted attraction entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we return to you once again, not live. Though, we have good news. There's a cold front coming in starting Wednesday of next week. So we may be able to do a live show next week. Because we still have the studio outside set up.
Yes, and we already know what the topic is.
Yes, we do. We already have the topic picked, so we may be able to do a live recording for the first time in quite some time. It's supposed to be like in the 60s.
That'd be nice.
It's supposed to be nice. I mean, like when we had Hurricane Ida hit, I thought we were supposed to get like, some good weather. Because hurricanes usually leave behind good weather. Ida couldn't even give us that fucking decency.
Nope.
Knocked the power out and left us with 95 fucking degree days. Yeah. Asshole. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, you're listening to Haunt Weekly. And for more great hurricane talk, including a lot of swearing about Hurricane Ida, check out our previous episodes at hauntweekly.com. We're also Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. YouTube.com/HauntWeekly is the YouTube channel. We're available on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify. And hopefully, Sunday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, you'll be able to catch us live, Facebook.com/HauntWeekly. We're going to go live and record an episode, provided the tempter doesn't try to kill us.
Yes.
That all sounds fair and reasonable. So anyways, this is a topic that I know I've been wanting to do for a while, but it's one that requires very specific timing.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of haunts that opened this weekend for the first time.
Yes.
A lot are opening next weekend, and even more are opening like the 1st of October. So either way, you're either just opening up or just about to open up. And so, yes, a lot is going on. There's some things that might have slipped through the cracks. That's what this episode is for. We're going to help you remember some very important things you and your haunt should be doing right now amidst all the chaos of pre-opening time. And you might have forgotten, because God knows these are all things I have forgotten.
Yeah, it's easy to do in the run-up.
Yeah, and that's just it. This is the time of year. I personally believe this is the busiest time of year for most haunts.
Yeah.
Because once you're open and once the show's just running, you don't have a lot going on other than right before and right after and during the show.
Hopefully.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it's not chaos like 24/7 whole season. That would suck. But this is the chaos 24/7 period where you're getting ready for opening or just opening.
Yeah.
This is the chaotic time. Hopefully, once the show gets going, you kind of just slipping into the groove. This is the chaos.
Yeah.
That's what we hope for. But anyways, we got questions of the week, and we got some answers. Mm-hmm. So first things first, let's revisit last week's question of the week, which we asked, and I shortened it here. What haunt or haunts are on your bucket list that you've not been to? And several of you said ours.
Yeah.
Y'all so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, we love you too.
Yeah.
But please, but if you do come to New Orleans and see us, which we'd love to have you, make sure to check out, 13th Gate, Mortuary, Rise, New Orleans Nightmare, all the other area haunts too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great haunts in this area. Check them out. But yeah, we love to have you come by. Mm-hmm. And many lists on there actually were pretty much exactly like ours.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of eerie how similar everyone was to ours. Like, man, we must have picked good haunts on that list. We must have put some good ones on there. But there were some others that some I did not know of and were not on any of our lists that I'm going to be checking out in more detail. Jennifer Drendell said, Blood Prison in Ohio, which of course it's an Ohio haunt. Yeah. Like 85% of haunts are in Ohio. That's what I've reached the conclusion.
It definitely feels that way.
It really does. I mean, like 85% of like the top tier haunts in particular there.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. I don't know what is so special about Ohio. Like, is it just like boring there and you have nothing to do but build haunts? Build great haunts?
Which, is fine reason to do it.
Yeah, it's fine reason to do it. I mean, we built a haunt out of boredom. I can't say we're any better, but Yeah, no, it's crazy. Let's see. Ryan Haynes said USS Nightmare, Mount Healthy, Haunted Hall, and Niles Scream Park. All
Mm-hmm.
great ones to mention. And Derek Muehlberger dropped in, and among his haunts, he listed way, way more. So I'm just condensing down here. But he listed Dark Hour, which is one we probably should have put on our list, if we're being honest.
Yeah, it is on a list. And we went through their virtual tour.
Yeah, we did their virtual tour. We sat through like
Which
an
was
hour
cool.
of their virtual tour.
Yeah.
But now I want to see it when it's open.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Penhurst Asylum, another great one. Reaper's Revenge, also amazing. And Woods of Terror. And just the list went on and on and on. You can tell Derek has thought about this about as much as we have. At
Yeah.
least. He had the list at the ready and just dropped that son of a bitch in a comment. Respect. That is great.
Yeah.
So thank you all. That was some great stuff. And the overall leaders, by the way, I took a quick tally, were not terribly surprising. Netherworld, Erebus, and Haunted Overload were pretty much mentioned together, like I think 4 or 5 times out of the comments.
Yeah.
So they were the leaders. Right behind them was Dent Schoolhouse. So yeah, obviously so many great haunts across these United States, and the problem is getting to them all.
Yep. Exactly.
We are working on it, though. We are going, like I said, we don't know if we're doing haunt visits this year. In fact, we haven't really decided much about our haunt season at all yet.
Yeah, and we've already gotten somebody contacting the page directly asking if we're open.
Yeah. So we got some thinking to do, and we got some work to do either way. But yeah, so we haven't really decided what our haunt season's going to look like this year, other than we know we're doing a yard display. That decision's been made, but everything else is up in the air.
Yeah.
But anyways, that brings us to this week's question of the week. As we get ready for opening night, or how it's just now opening, what part of haunt prep do you most often forget to do? What's the thing that slips through the cracks for you? I know for me and for us, the thing that we typically have the hardest time with is the social media stuff. We always forget to start ramping it up at the right time. We always wait way too late. So that's one, but also it feels like for us, a lot of the front of house gets pushed back to last minute. A lot of the signage and a lot of that stuff.
It does. It definitely does. Yeah.
I think those two things stand out as items we let slip through the crack because we're so busy working in that hot-ass garage trying to build things and make things work that those are the things we forget.
Yeah. And then there's always that one light or one sound box that we forget to turn on, and I notice it like after the second group goes through.
Yeah.
Notice it like way too late.
Yeah.
It always happens.
So yeah, what is your thing like that? What is it that you forget to do? Let us know. You can do that at hauntweekly.com via email there, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, and Haunt Weekly on Twitter, or leave it as a comment on this video at youtube.com/hauntweekly. Love to hear your thoughts. We'll be collating them, gathering them, and presenting the findings next week.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, if you haven't guessed, haunted houses are opening. Haunt season is beginning. And depending upon your haunt and the exact area you're in and what your season is, you may have just opened. This was a lot of haunts first weekend. Last weekend also was some haunts first weekend, though not very many. This seems to have had more. So you either just opened or are about to open. If you're working in major haunt, if you're working a home haunt, you have another month.
Yes.
Probably. That's good news. But anyways, so yeah, but the point is, like, pre-opening is the busiest time. It is the craziest time.
Right.
I know for us, even though we don't see a lot of people on our opening night, because it's usually a Friday night, it's usually our busiest, craziest day.
Yeah, it's definitely the craziest day because getting through opening night is just, in preparing for the actual opening, is just fly by the seat of your pants kind of thing. Because we always think that we've got everything settled, and then there's that one thing that we didn't do.
Actor doesn't show up, or something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Opening night is always, like you said, it's always a lot of improv art. And it's also just the busiest because, like, the second, like, we usually operate 3 nights a year as a home haunt. The second and third nights, there's not much going on between when we close that night and when we open the next one.
Right.
Because we might have a thing or two to repair.
Yeah.
Need to restock or refill a few things, but turn everything off and turn all the electronics off and turn them back on again. But other than that, we don't have much going on. But that run up to that first time, we have literally had props finish building and start working when we have a line out front. There was one year our guillotine.
Yes, we've gotten much better about planning since then.
Yeah, we have. But still, that day is always nuts, and the run-up is always nuts.
Yes.
In particular. So, yeah. Basically, there's a million different things going on for a haunt of any size, and it's easy to miss stuff. So we're going over a handful of things that every haunt or every haunter should be doing right now, probably.
Yeah.
That way you can make sure you're hitting all the beats you need and doing all the stuff you need to do in order to have a successful haunt season. Sound good?
Sounds good.
You want to take the first one?
Sure.
Lead us in.
Planning and setting up your social media.
Oh yeah.
As you said, we're not good at this.
Please do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah. But there are several apps to help you out. There's Hootsuite or Buffer. And they can plan your entire social media campaign. Yeah.
I have, various points in my life found amazing use for Buffer. It's bufferapp.com. And we've talked about it before on one of our apps every haunter should have. Talked about it on that episode. But yeah, it basically, what you can do with it is you can connect it to your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook pages, everything. And literally just plot out the entire social media. You can write the posts, get the images, upload them, have them ready to go. And that way, it just does it in the background without you. You don't have to look, other than responding to comments and answering people, you don't have to deal with social media through the entirety of haunt season.
Yeah, which is great because haunt season's a beast unto itself. You're going to be busy with other things. You're not going to be thinking about this. So if you can do it ahead of time and get it all scheduled out, then you don't have to think about it again.
The way I look at it is this. I've realized, and one of the things I've been working on in my work has been finding ways to focus better and to have more productive stretches of the day.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've learned is that though I'm actually not terrible at multitasking, it really does, transitioning between tasks does slow you down.
Yes.
So no matter how good you are, there is a penalty when you switch between tasks and multitasking. And so if you sit down today and do all of your social media for the season, you can be done in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But if you try to do that along, that penalty is going to eat up a lot more time. It's going to take up twice as long, and it's going to eat up time you could be doing other things.
Right.
So, right now, even if you had your opening weekend already, sit down, do the social media for the entire rest of the run. Just go ahead and get it done. Now, leave some room. You don't have to, fill it completely. Leave some room for some spontaneous stuff and some fun stuff. Or if you have any important announcements you have to make, give yourself some breathing room. Don't crowd it. But make sure that your social media presence, everywhere you are, will be active the entire time you're open.
Yeah, and don't forget with your social media to set up those events. Because if you set up Facebook events, we found that those get a lot of shares and responses.
And the classic tag your friend that you want to go to it with.
Yeah.
Comment.
Well, and I can't tell you the number of events that I've missed because they didn't have an event set up.
Yeah.
And I just totally forgot about it.
Yeah, do set up events for the days you're open.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is so many people, how many people don't know anyone's birthday if they don't see it on Facebook, or if they don't see it.
Everybody.
I literally just got done setting up a card delivery service. And it reminds me of everyone's birthday, every family member, and pretty much most of our friends' birthdays, anniversaries, and other big dates.
Yeah.
And we can mail custom cards to them now. So yeah, but without that calendaring, without that electronic calendaring, people will forget.
Yeah.
And so make it easy for them to get into your calendar. Make it easy for them to put you in their calendar.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. And Facebook events is one of the easiest ways to do that. But yeah, like I said, leave a little room. Don't go crazy now. Don't go nuts and give yourself no room to do anything else. Leave a little room for when you want to be spontaneous. If you see something funny or something happens, it's really cool, and you just want to share it on your social media, give yourself room to do it. But make sure that even if you don't look at it, it's active. So probably post every couple of days, or at the very least every day you're open. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you do it now, do it in one session, it'll take you a few hours, then you forget it, and move on. It's such a beautiful thing to do. Number 2, do the same thing for any paid advertisements you're going to do. Now, you're probably too late for TV, radio, or print. Those deadlines probably passed.
Yeah.
But internet advertising is still very, very possible to do. You can start working with ads, including Facebook and Google. Set those campaigns up and just plan out your entire season of ad runs. What do you want to advertise? What images do you want to use? What copy are you using? Who are you targeting? And when are you targeting them? In general, most haunts that I have seen plan it out with a strong push for the opening nights. Hey, we're open. The season's beginning.
Yeah.
And then they sort of bring it back in during the mid-season. They still have ads, but they bring it back in. And then they do a hard push in the run-up to Halloween and the run-up to the end of season.
Yeah.
So that's what most people do. You do you, but set it up now. Even if you're not going to start running the ads for a couple of weeks, if you don't open until like October, you can go and set it all up now and have it ready to just start rolling out whenever you want it. And honestly, you should have it rolling out probably a week before you open at least. So, yeah, you need to get on that now if you have not done it.
Yes, and if this is something that you forgot to do and you are already open, put it in your calendar for next year. Yeah. Set a reminder. Because I do that all the time. I'm like, because I wouldn't, remember anything. If it's not written down, I don't remember it.
Yeah. If you don't exist in my Google Calendar or my Facebook, you don't exist.
Yeah.
It's just total blindness. It's nothing exists that isn't in one of those two spaces.
Exactly.
Or I guess my email would also work. But basically, those are the spaces you have to be in to exist in my world.
Yeah.
I will forget anything you tell me. I mean, so yeah, but get those advertisements done now. And that way, once again, set them, forget them. Mm-hmm. And it's not usually a good idea to set and forget ads because you should be monitoring them and you should be adjusting and tweaking. But here's the thing. It's better to get it done now, set it and forget it, and then do a post-mortem on it to see where you can improve for next year than it is to forget to do it.
Yes, exactly.
Ideally, you would be at least keeping up to date and checking in on it and seeing where the money's going, how many clicks you're getting, and what kind of response and feedback you're getting. Maybe doing some A/B testing and things like that. That's ideal. But hey, it's the busy time. I would rather you set it up and spend it and do a post-mortem later because you can do the improvement next year. You know, there's always next year to improve.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, getting in those paid advertisements, great thing to start getting out right now. Okay, next item.
Contact the news media. Get those press releases going.
Yeah.
Once again, this is something you may be too late for if you've already opened.
Yeah.
But submit your events to every calendar you can. Lots of those can be updated on the fly.
Mm-hmm, especially the online ones.
Yeah, exactly. So get in touch with the media and tell your story. Media coverage is free advertising, and we've learned how to exploit it heavily.
Yeah, this is one thing we definitely do well.
Yeah.
I feel very good about how well we do this. Mm-hmm. And we had a whole episode about it, 285, we're talking about PR for haunting. This is something we are masters at. We have no ad budget, functionally.
Right.
Our ad budget is, we could eat $50 at Facebook ads.
Yeah. Well, we've got the flyer budget.
We do a flyer run and we have the Facebook ads, and that's about it.
Yeah.
and a spattering of Facebook ads. But we're a home haunt. We're free. We don't really have a budget for that, but we have really gotten so much notoriety and infamy from the news media.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I get recognized. And this is something that happens every time we get like a major news story about us, especially if it's on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They come by and they sit, and people will actually recognize us out and about. Yeah. Hey, weren't you on the news?
Yeah. Type thing. It's like, I didn't know you watched local news still.
Yeah, I didn't know anyone did that.
But here we are.
But they do. They do. These local news is a big deal.
Yeah.
And it will get you some coverage, and it will help you. So yeah, get those press releases going if you have not done so already. Get them out there. Mm-hmm. Go listen to episode 285. We talk about the process for doing this very thoroughly. We break it down. But basically, just you need to have your media contacts, your press release, your promotional photos, and sending that crap out and making sure the media knows that you're there. Mm-hmm. They can tell your story and they can give you that free advertising space because that is so valuable. One thing that I will say this year has happened, and I think a lot of this is the pandemic. Mm-hmm. The pandemic, because last year a lot of haunts didn't open or weren't able to open. More haunts are opening this year.
Right.
I get news alerts for haunted attraction news, and I am getting tons and tons of stories about haunts opening. Traditionally, I get some, but this year I'm getting more than I think I've ever seen because I think haunts, opening back up is news.
Right.
That's item A. But also, I do think haunts are getting better at doing this. Mm-hmm. Because a simple news article about, such and such haunt returns to scare this year.
Yeah.
It can be huge. It can be a big deal. It is better than paid advertising in many ways. Because it's coming from a trusted source. Even though, honestly, advertising has stronger truth standards than journalism these days. Not actually kidding.
Yeah.
But despite that fact, it's coming from a trusted source, and it's the content that people are there for. People get up and pee during commercials for a reason. They're not there for the advertisements. They're there for the content, and that's you now become their content. And that is a very, very powerful thing. So yes, get in contact with the news media, tell your story, talk about your characters, show off what you're doing, basically. Yeah. It will, it's amazing what you can do with that. I'm not even kidding. It's absolutely incredible. If you're not actively engaged in PR, episode 285, go listen to it. It may be one of the most important episodes we did. Just because of how heavy we focused on PR and haunting. And yeah, it's an important one. Go do it.
Yeah.
Number 4, setting up additional revenue streams and sources. Okay, it's too late to do any builds. I get that. So you're probably not going to be building a new merch booth or concession stand. But there are a lot of things you can do to upsell and microtransaction. We did a whole episode about microtransactions and haunts that actually covered a lot of these. Mm-hmm. But one of my favorites is, have you considered selling bounce back tickets? Those can be an incredible source of revenue.
Yeah.
Especially because basically a bounce back ticket is when someone's leaving the haunt. You set this up at the exit. You say, hey, for $10, $5, $10, $15, you can go through a second time. Whatever, a deeply discounted second ticket. And the thing is, that can make your lines longer, and they're basically getting a hell of a discount on another ticket, but you've already spent the money to advertise to them. You've already captured all the revenue you're likely to capture from them if they don't take the bounce back ticket.
Right.
So it equals a deeply discounted ticket, but it's got to be the main rule of a bounce back ticket is it has to be used that night. You have to go back in that night. Mm-hmm. It's for one day only.
Yeah.
And it's that day. So it's an amazing way to earn money. I don't see a lot of haunts doing it, and they really, really should be. I think it's a great thing to do. Selling glow sticks and glow necklaces.
Yeah.
Why the hell is not every haunt doing this?
I don't know.
This is such an easy one. Do you hate money?
Yeah.
You know?
Because people will buy them.
I don't get why they buy them.
No.
You go to fucking Sam's Club and buy like 1 million of these for 10 cents each and sell them for $3 and people will buy them.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is.
It's clinically insane. And to make it even worse, it actually makes it easier to scare. They think they'll be less afraid with it. Oh, you're just making yourself the target.
Yeah.
I don't get why people do this, but every time I have seen a haunt selling these, they have gone like gangbusters.
Yes.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I have never seen this fail, and sometimes haunts will sell them with you. Well, you agree to the more extreme experience or whatever. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do that. Just sell them.
Yeah.
They don't have to mean a goddamn thing.
Nope.
Just sell the fucking glow necklaces. I don't know why it works, but it works. I don't understand haunted attraction customers sometimes. They're freaking idiots. Yes, you have a light source now. That makes you easier to see.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, it's like the kid that wears the fucking white shirt into the laser tag arena and then lights up like a Christmas tree under the black light. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, but this is so easy. Just go to your local Costco, your Sam's Club, your whatever. Buy a crap ton of these. Sell them for $2 to $3 each. I think Crystal's looking up the bulk price of them real fast. Sell them for money, and this is just an easy upcharge. Believe me, they will sell. You
can get 500 of various glow things on Amazon right now for $35.
Jesus, oh my God! It's actually less than I thought.
I know.
I overstated the price.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. This is easy. And basically, okay, if it's $35, and so you got...
Okay, so that one isn't really a good thing, because I opened it up and it's mostly straws.
Okay, fair.
But necklaces are still, let's see, the next one is a 50 count for 20.
Okay, there's got to be better bulk buys than that.
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
But I mean, think about it this way. Let's assume that you got the crappy one you just found. Mm-hmm. If you sold them for $2 each, you only have to sell 17 of the fuckers. Mm-hmm. And you have 500.
Yeah.
Stop and think about that. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I get so worked up about glow sticks. Should not be a problem I have as an adult in 2021. But apparently I do. It's just I have never seen a haunt that did this not make their money back on it. Mm-mm. Photo ops are another thing you can sell. In fact, even if it's last minute, you can rent a photo booth. We knew a person who ran a photo booth rental company. It is a thing.
Yeah.
You can rent a photo booth. You can have something like that in there. You can also rent arcade games and things like that too for the queue area or for your boardwalk area or whatever. So yeah, you can have things like that. And if you're a home haunt, then focus on ways to increase donations if you take donations. Now is a great time to start printing those signs and signing up for every goddamn cash app thing, money transfer app you can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered all that in the donations episode, but God, now is the time to do that too. So yeah, it's too late to do builds probably, unless you're a home haunt that doesn't open until right at Halloween.
Right.
But there are plenty of things you can do last minute to make money, and every dollar counts. I mean, think about this. Like, say you sell your tickets for $20.
Right.
And you sell glow sticks for $2, which is, we just established, is pretty much all profit.
Yeah.
That means if they buy a glow stick, you've increased your profit from them by 10%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not nothing. That is a huge bump from something very simple and stupid.
It is. It definitely is.
It's a 10% bump. Jesus, Murphy. Anyway, moving on. Crystal, take the next one. This one's yours anyway.
It is. Holding your pre-mortem and safety meetings. This should be a duh, because you should be, like, having these leading up. But get with your key staff, start work on the pre-mortem, plan for the things that can go wrong, hold safety meetings before opening. Be sure to, unfortunately, include what to do if somebody fires a gun on your property.
Yeah.
Because...
And this year is going to be exceptionally challenging. A, COVID is still a thing.
Yep.
And B, we already have seen our first haunt shooting this year.
Which we'll be talking about next week.
Yep. We'll be talking about it in more detail.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just have that plan too.
Yeah.
Fire, obviously, something to plan for.
Exactly.
I mean, that plan, though, often is more a product of your work with the fire marshal.
Yeah.
But still.
Random power outage. There's just a ton of things. Just anything that can go wrong. Try to think of it and plan for it.
And make sure all your lieutenants and all the people of any authority to haunt know the plans and are in on it and have had discussions about it. So yeah, it basically, you're going to have these very thorough, detailed, lengthy safety meetings.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can check out episode 291 for more of what the pre-mortem is about.
Yeah. These meetings, run-up, should be longer.
Yeah.
Set aside some time, an hour or two probably, to go through all this.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. And then you reiterate to the whole staff the key points every night before opening.
Yep.
You have that big staff get together, you do your whatever you do to pump yourselves up. Repeat the important safety stuff is something you do as part of that. But no, right now, before opening is when you're doing that pre-mortem stuff and those safety meetings and doing all that to prepare. It's the event planning part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot, but it's good stuff. And speaking of which, while we're discussing your lieutenants and the various people of authority in the haunt, establish your hierarchy.
Yeah.
Now's the time. Figure out who reports to who about what. Make it clear who is in charge of what, and establish both the responsibilities and who reports to who, where the information and where the authority flows, basically. Mm-hmm. I say there's nothing like a good org chart.
Yeah.
There really isn't. A good org chart can make a simple haunt. Even a small haunt can use an org chart, and a big one can just as well. I mean, our org chart is fairly straightforward. You are on the inside, the general on the inside, I'm general on the outside. Yeah. I run front of house, you run in of house. Yeah. And therefore, the people in those two areas report to the respective person.
Right. And, I do have someone on the second half of the house if I'm not doing the follow through.
Yeah, zone commander.
Yep. Zone leader who I have contact with after every group.
Yeah. And that's a good thing to do. But basically, whether your hierarchy is as stupid simple as ours, or you have hundreds of actors and lieutenants, and you need a damn tree to figure out your organization, figure it out now. Yeah. Now's the time. You should definitely know. You may not have all your actors hired. I know a lot of haunts are still hiring actors. You may not have every single one of the actors hired, but you should know who the people of authority are.
Yeah. Yeah, because the core group doesn't change that much, usually. And, frankly, you should hire those people earlier than your mass cattle call for actors. Right. You should have those people earlier because you've got to do things like safety meetings and trainings and things like that. You've got to do more with them. Actors, they need to know the safety protocols, obviously, but their job is not one of authority. So they don't need, all the information on how to take that responsibility and ownership. So yeah, the main thing to remember though is a very simple expression. If something is everyone's job, then it's nobody's job. Yep. That is a very, very important thing to remember. And it's true anywhere, but I find it especially true in haunts. Yeah. If something is everyone's job, then it's nobody's job. Yep. And you don't want something to be nobody's job. If it has to be done, it's got to be somebody's job. Yes. You're going to do the sweep out of the haunt right before we open, just to make sure nothing has fallen into the pathway from last night to today.
Yeah, exactly. And then one of the things, they've done studies on this. Yeah. Where they have, if you are in an accident and you say, somebody call 911, no one calls 911. Yeah. But if you point to someone and go, you call 911, 911 gets called. Because you made it someone's job.
Exactly.
And so you have to follow that mentality here, and now's the time to set up who has what job. And make it very, very clear. Because, yeah, it's one of the less pleasant parts of haunting.
Right.
Having to assign these kinds of duties. But it's one of the most important, especially during the chaos of when you're open.
Yeah.
Because you need that certainty and clarity. All right, number 7.
7. Final checks of everything in the haunt.
Everything.
Yes. Check every prop, every wire, every speaker, everything. Because we have had this happen where we didn't turn on a light for some reason. We went out and turned it on and it wasn't working. And now they're a color that I don't like as much, but it's fine. Yeah. But yeah, you've got just enough time to fix small problems before opening. Do a complete walkthrough of the haunt and check it room by room. Replace bulbs, speakers, troubleshoot any animatronic stuff. And if something has broken catastrophically, it gives you time to come up with a plan
for it.
Yeah. How are you going
to redo that room or scene?
Yeah.
On the fly.
Exactly.
I mean, here's the thing. Things are still going to break as season goes on.
Yeah.
Like one of the great interviews we did was with Shelby from the Galveston Haunted House, the year-round one. And one of the things she pointed out to me that I didn't actually think about was a challenge they have is their stuff breaks constantly because it's year-round. It's constantly getting work. They have some pneumatics and animatronics and things, and shit wears out so much faster because it's working 7 days a week, 365, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
I didn't think of that.
No, me either.
So stuff's going to break during season, yeah. But make sure that the first group that goes through, the first people, get the best show possible.
Yeah.
And the way to do that, like I said, is to kind of be the first group.
Right.
Try to set everything up, turn everything on. You don't have to have the actors for this, but go through item by item, make sure every light, every trigger, everything is working as it should. And fix the things that aren't. That is such an important thing to do. And I don't know why. You can do that when you finish your build and when you get your inspections done. But even though you didn't touch anything from when that happened and when you open, something will break in that space. Fucking gremlins or some shit will get in there and wreck your crap. I don't know how it happens. It always does, though.
It does.
So take the time now to catch it and kick the shit out of that gremlin. Speaking of things that somehow happen that no one's been able to explain to me how, it's like headphone wires getting tangled in your pocket. Take the time to clean. Yes, I know you cleaned previously. Yes, I know you cleaned after you finished the build, right?
Yeah.
You cleaned. Do it again. Why? I don't know. There's a damn gremlin going around sprinkling screws on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a damn gremlin leaving soda cans in places they don't belong. Go clean again. Trust me. Clean out the haunt. Triple check for hazards or garbage. Also, clean actor areas and behind the scene areas where there will be actors, especially the bathrooms. You should be done with big projects, so hopefully no real chance for a big mess again. But seriously, haunt work is messy, and I don't know where these screws come from. I don't know how it happens, but every year we will do sweep outs of the haunt every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much on the run up to opening, and every goddamn sweep out finds something else.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It gets less and less. But
it does.
But you do find stuff still.
Yeah. Like right now, there's a whole bunch of leaves inside the garage.
That was Ida's fault.
I know. But
anyway,
yeah, there's lots of dead leaves.
Yes. But yeah, basically, you're always clean again. There's no shame in getting a push broom or a magnet broom and running through your haunt again.
Nope.
Sweeping is, once again, it's technically everyone's job to keep it clean, but it's important to make it somebody's job. And that's just it. Every year, someone shows up early and says, "Is there anything I can do to help?"
Yeah.
And I tell them, I said, "Look, I know if you don't mind it, take this broom, go sweep the haunt out, and tell me what you find."
Yeah.
Go sweep it out. Because I swept it out. Crystal swept it out.
Yeah.
And probably someone else has swept it out. But we need another pair of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? They always find stuff.
They do.
Every year. It happens like clockwork. Clean, 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 clean. Clean, 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 clean.
Yeah. Well, and especially this year, because you've got extra cleaning to do.
Yeah. All right. Next up.
All right. Set up your front of house. Take care of all the front of house stuff.
Yes.
Queue line, the lots of signs. Can you find where people are supposed to go? Get somebody who's never seen your signage and say, hey, do you know where to go?
Go buy a ticket and get in the queue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, basically.
Act like you're going to go buy a ticket and get in the queue line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now pretend you're a customer that showed up with an electronic ticket.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Test those systems.
Yeah, test those systems. And I'll tell you this. I have been to haunts, and the mortuary had this problem 2019.
Yeah.
In which if you came up without a ticket, the signage was very clear where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
If you had an electronic ticket,
yeah, it was. Yeah.
You know? And I've always got an electronic. Just spit on my goddamn computer.
Of course you did.
I've always got an electronic ticket. Oh, Lord. This podcast is off the rails more than usual.
Yes, but you do always have an electronic ticket. And, with theirs, the problem was you had to go by the exit to get in line if you had an electronic ticket. Yeah. But there was no sign saying that.
Nowhere in the front that says electronic tickets go to the rear.
Right. And the line to get in through the regular purchase area
takes you to the ticket booth first.
It takes you to the ticket booth, and it was hours long wait.
The mortuary is always kind of weird to me because they're trying to have a pretty lengthy queue line in a very tiny space. It's a historic building.
Yeah.
So they're limited in what they can do, and I get that. And so, like you said, the normal way to go in is you go up, you wait in line, then you go to the ticket booth, and then ping pong around into the actual queue part.
Yeah.
Which is underneath the awning that's where I believe that it was where the cars would actually load at the mortuary. I think it's underneath that area. I don't think it's the actual front where people normally would have gone in. Mm-hmm. I think it's where the hearses would have pulled up and things like that.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's not a very large area. Mm-mm. And if they have any kind of a crowd, it gets very crowded and they're very quick and very chaotic. But like you said, they had the sign saying, electronic ticket holders come here at the exit, not the entrance. And we ended up wasting hours of our life to stand in line for a ticket booth we didn't need.
Yeah.
So get those signs up. Make sure that people can know where to go. Now is the time to set all that up. And like you said, test it. Drag some poor son of a bitch that's never been to your place before and have them test it.
Some new actor that just showed up and got hired.
Pretend you're going to go buy a ticket and get in the queue. Just have them do it.
Exactly.
And see what happens. And if the signage is clear enough, they'll have no problems. And if it's not, then now you know where the weakness is. And also remember, the signage is going to get less effective the more crowded things get, because then there's more distractions.
Right.
So you have to be ready to have them big enough and high enough to overcome
preferably lit.
Lit, yeah. All right. And number 10, the final item, but probably the most important, if we're being honest, take time for yourself. Look, you need to take some time for you. I know this is the stressful time, but take a moment. You're not a machine. Mm-mm. You're a human being. You need to take care of yourself mentally and physically. Rest, relax, play a video game, watch some TV, take a nap, meditate, anything.
Yeah.
Do something, anything to take care of yourself. Make sure you do that. Yeah, there's a lot to do. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. I'd rather shit not get done than you hurt yourself physically or mentally to get it done.
Right.
It's more important that you stay healthy in every respect of that word. So put some time in there for you every night, every day. Put some time in there for you. Give yourself time to relax before you go to sleep. Give yourself a chance to recover. It's very important. And this is something that we've been bad at a couple of times. Yeah. This is definitely one of those do as I say, not as I do moments. But we've gotten better about this in recent years. But even if it's just a few minutes, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big meditating guy. I'm not big into meditating, but some people are. Some people swear by it. Try meditating if it helps you. I've been experimenting with this service called Brain.fm, which does special music to help you focus or to help you sleep or to relax or to unwind. Consider trying something like that, but take time for you. Give your body and your mind a chance to recover. Because if you don't, you're going to wind up burning out before season's even really begun.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. I mean, you don't want that. Like, we would sometimes get burned out, but it was just a 3-night season.
Yeah.
If you're running a 20-night or 25-night or whatever season, you need to be in a good place mentally and physically the entire time. Take some time. Relax. Don't overdo it. Yes, there's a lot to do. I know. I feel you. But it's more important that you're okay.
Yep.
You know, I think one of the greatest thoughts I ever had in my life, I can't remember who said it first, but they said that life is a juggling act. And you're juggling work, health, relationships, and yourself. And you know, you're juggling all these balls. But the thing is, the work ball is made out of rubber. The others are made out of glass.
Yeah.
If you drop the work ball, you can bounce back. You can bounce back and pick it up and keep going. But if you drop into the others, it's permanent. So take care of yourself. Take some time. Take it easy. And please, please be kind to yourself. I know we all like to kick ourselves and beat ourselves up about the things we forgot or didn't do or did poorly or didn't go right. Be kind to yourself. Trust me. It makes life so much easier if you just try to be kind to yourself. So anyways, that's 10 things that you and your haunt need to be doing right now. I think it's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
Anything else that I forgot, please take a moment and let us know. We're facebook.com/hauntweekly, and twitter.com/hauntweekly, hauntweekly.com, and of course, youtube.com/hauntweekly is the YouTube channel. I would love to hear your thoughts and other things that you think haunt should be doing. I know there's plenty more, but these are, from my experience, the ones that are most easy to forget and most easy to drop in the chaos. Especially if you're dealing with, permitting and a million other issues flying around at the last minute. It's easy to forget these things. Don't let them drop. But most importantly, like I said, take time for yourself and take it easy on yourself. You're in this for the long haul. So if you crash and burn now, you won't be there when the fun part begins.
Yeah.
You won't be able to enjoy the fun part.
Yeah.
On that note, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. This was episode 303 of Haunt Week, all about 10 things you and your haunt should be doing right now. That means next episode is number 304, divisible by 4. That means we're doing the news. We will see you all then. In the meantime, take care and enjoy the beginning of haunt season.